Hey y'all!
What's up? What's up?
Welcome to Life with the Gumbs channel. This is
Cleet. It's your boy Cleet.
You gonna point at me with
Oh,
Cleet?
sorry. Cleet. I'm Cleet.
And I'm Kimberly.
Yeah.
And plus, our channel is also made up of our two little ones who are not so little right now, but our son Aiden, our daughter Paris, and our fur baby Rocket.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, so we make up Life with the Gumbs channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Before we dive into today's video, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and engage with us because we really do, y'all.
We appreciate it.
Engaging back with y'all. We really appreciate y'all. I always say this in our videos. You didn't have to, but you did.
Appreciate you.
Thank y'all so much. So be sure to do those things before we dive right in. All right?
Yeah.
So anywho.
So what we got going on today?
So y'all, we're big fans of staycations, right?
Yes.
Especially right here in Central Florida. There's literally so much to do right here in our backyard. And you know, sometimes staycations are needed, right? We're busy parents, busy families, you know, doing a lot of things, doing the most, you know, whether it's in school season or summer season, like there's a lot going on all throughout the year.
And a lot of times it's like, you know, it's a great way to recharge, right? Great way to break the routine, just break away for a little bit, take some time and just do something for the weekend. It don't even have to be a full week, right?
Right.
So we've been utilizing this for the duration of our whole marriage, especially since we had a kid. So these are definitely recommended. And of course, there's a ton to do here in Central Florida. So we'll be talking about it from the perspective of Central Florida, but in your area, like, you know, I'm sure there's things to do. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to talk about any areas, talk bad about any areas, but there gotta be at least a movie theater, right? So hopefully. So, but anyway, these are some good things that we've picked up over the years. That's really good.
Right. So we just want to give you all some, you know, tips, some parenting hacks and tips that can help with staycation, specifically here in Central Florida, and also talk about some of the places that you can reside when you come to staycay.
That's right.
Here in Central Florida. So let's dive right into the video.
Yeah. So when we talk about accommodations first?
Yes, we can start there. Hold on, let me go to my reference, my notes, y'all. Okay. Accommodations. So I guess we could start off with some pros and cons of, you know, if you're wanting to do a staycation, specifically here in Central Florida, you know, what's the pros and cons of staying like at an Airbnb place versus a hotel? Right. So, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So, you got your Airbnbs, right? So you got hotel options and you got Airbnbs. From an Airbnb standpoint,
vacation homes, basically.
Right? And this is, you know, in context of a staycation, right? So obviously, if you're going to here, you know, if this is a vacation for you, then these work as well. Airbnbs, we found them to be very beneficial. So the pro side of that, you know, you get more privacy, right? You get a little bit more control of. I mean, not that you can't go in and out of a hotel, but you just feel like it's more of an extension of your home. Yeah, your own little situation, right? Now, here in Central Florida, it's really, really cool because they theme a lot of these Airbnbs based on the theme park. So whether it's Universal, SeaWorld, Disney World, they do some really cool stuff with the rooms, right?
Yeah, they get super creative, super themey here.
Yeah.
Okay?
So for instance, we like some of the staycation homes Airbnb, that we stayed at. They've had like a Star Wars themed room where they literally painted the whole walls. They had little like statues and
everything,
furniture.
The whole room was Star Wars.
Yeah, like themed out like you would be at a hotel. It's really cool. And
Harry Potter,
Disney
Princess,
Frozen, like they do all of
everything.
that. So that's one of the pros, right? You're gonna get a space for you and your family. It's going to come, obviously, it's a home, so you get a full kitchen, garage, you get a whole thing. So this is recommended if you're staying most of the time, you know, a longer staycation, maybe do a week there. And then if you got a big family, right? So you're trying to, like, for instance, we've had situations where, you know, for the holidays, right? You might have family come up for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Now you got a kitchen, you can cook, you can do the whole thing. So obviously those are the benefits of the Airbnb.
And I was going to say another, just to add to what he just said, like the benefit of having, like when you have family come into town or a family traveling with you for a staycation, like the benefits in Central Florida, like with these vacation homes, like don't let them fool you. Don't let the size of them fool you from the outside, because you're like, oh, that's a vacation home, and you go in and it's like 11 bedrooms.
Yes.
Like, they're very spacious.
Yes.
For large families.
They literally, there are communities here in Central Florida that they build these homes where normally there would be, let's say it's a 4,000 square foot home, normally it would be 3 rooms. They literally build it with like 9 rooms. It's made for the purpose of going to the theme park. So that's the benefit of doing that. So definitely it's highly recommended. I would say, so some of the, what would you say are some of the cons?
Cons of staying in a vacation home, I would say you're not like on property. Like if you're visiting one of the theme parks, say if you're at Universal or Disney World, like you're not on property in Disney or at Universal. And what I mean by that is, you know, it's per your preference, right? Because there's sometimes where like for instance, for Christmas, like Christmas is my favorite time of the year, and I just want to be in it. Okay, I want to be in the experience. So if we're at Disney, I want to be on property at Disney. Okay, so because they're going to give you all the. You're going to be in the Disney bubble.
You're not immersed, right?
Thank you.
You lose the immersiveness. But that's the point, right?
Yes.
So that's a con, right? So while it gives you all those benefits we mentioned, you're still in a home, right?
Yeah.
So you don't feel like, man, I'm like, you know, when you go, and we'll talk about hotels next, but when you go to a hotel, it's kind of part of the whole travel thing, right? So in the whole context of staycation, you want it to feel like I'm actually going on a vacation. So there's a benefits, right? You might say, oh no, this is another house. It has different furniture. It's cool. Has some theming. So that might be vacation for you, right? But when you want the immersive experience of Universal, of Disney, of you know, the theme parks here, then the hotel will give you more of that. This is a pro and slightly a con. So the pro is they are naturally going to be closer to the theme park. So you're within 10 minutes, 5 minutes away. But once again, you're just right out that bubble where you don't feel like you in the, like you said, the ecosystem, right? You're just a little bit outside of that, but you still get the closeness of it. So
and then, you know, that's specifically speaking to the on-property hotels, because you know, there's the, like, I don't want to say like regular, but the regular hotels, like the regular chain hotels, like your Hiltons, your Marriotts, and so forth. Like you have those hotels too.
That are around the same distance that these Airbnb communities are. So, okay, so then let's just dive into hotels.
Okay, so the pros and cons of hotels.
Yes.
Now we just list the pro, right? You're in the immersiveness. Of the hotels. Like you're right there, you are in it, you're seeing characters walk around, like you're just in it. So that is a pro for me.
Let's preface, right? So she's talking about
specifically the on-property
ones are going to have that full immersive experience, especially Disney. Now even Disney, you know, they take it another level when it comes to the immersiveness and immersive feeling, right? So Universal has those hotels which we've stayed at. They definitely give you the feeling of it, but Disney takes it to another level. So to her point, the hotel, you get that, right? You don't get that now. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt.
And then in a pro with like at a regular like chained hotel, like the Harriotts, the Hilton, oh Lord, not the Harriotts. I'm thinking of Marriott, the Hiltons, and what's the other ones?
Some of
like there's some, like, you know, in Central Florida, like #1 tourist destination. There's all the hotels. The hotels are here. Okay, so there's lots of choices, but like the regular hotel chain hotels, a pro is that you're staying at a hotel, not a vacation home. So the things that you would have to worry about with homes, you don't have to worry about. Like you're just checking in, you know. And
like you know, like for instance, like when you go to the Airbnb, you got to leave it clean the way that you arrived, or not completely clean, but you gotta, like, there's certain checks and balances you have to keep up with. Whereas hotel, you know how it goes.
But you don't leave it dirty.
You might be taking towels. And, cloths.
First off, we do not take no towels. Okay.
Furniture. No. But yeah. So okay. So you got that hotel. Some of the cons. Cons
of at the hotel. I would say, like, right now our kids like love the pool, right? So a lot of the vacation homes come with pools, and
private
specifically
pools,
like private pools, their own pools, and especially ones that are warm. right?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you might have to pay a little extra for that, but the benefit of having that, like, you're not confined to a specific time.
Right.
If you were staying at a hotel where you got your regular pool hours, it's whenever you are at the vacation home, you know, you can go in the pool whenever. But if you're at the hotel, you're confined to the regular hotel's pool hours.
Yeah. I would say smaller living quarters, right? Depending on the hotel room. Sometimes you might be
depending on how you balling out for your staycation.
If you got a pin suite, pin suite.
See, look at you.
Lord. Penthouse. Sorry. If you got a penthouse, hey, ain't nobody talking about you, right? But obviously you have so I would say a con is the cost, right? If you don't have, if you're trying to do this on an affordable budget.
Because let's be real, like the on-property hotel, specifically Disney, like
when you got giraffes walking around outside,
those could be it could be a con, just depending on what you are willing to pay and not pay. So yes. So listen, we don't want to spend all day on these. I think we got. But to name, I did want to name some of the vacation home places and as well as some hotel and resort areas. So if you're looking to stay at any of the vacation home places here in Central Florida, you can use your traditional Airbnb website here or here online. You can go to Villatel Orlando Resort, and all these will link them in our description.
Yes.
And also VRBO. I say VRBO. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, but it's VRBO.
That's what it looks like.
Those are 3 companies that you can go online and see the kind of vacation homes, and they have nice themed ones that Cleet talked about as well on those. In terms of hotels, you have your regular chain hotels, like I mentioned, Hilton, Marriott, and all the other thousands. Hyatt, yes. Hotels, chains that you can search for, as well as the on-property hotels at each theme park. Universal, you got the Lowe's, you got Hard Rock Cafe. There's so many. And then the Disney resorts. There's a lot.
Yeah,
on property.
There's a lot.
Yeah. So
and
those are just some options, and we'll link some of those as well in our description.
You also have some honorable mentions.
Evermore Resort is one of the newer resorts here in Orlando. You can check that out. And also the Grove Resort.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those are some cool ones. And then they're still building. So, that's a good thing about Central Florida. It's like they're forever building, forever expanding. Tourists
always coming. Yes.
Yeah, they got the new park for Universal, Epic. Yes. So there's a lot. With that comes a lot more new hotels and things of that nature. So like I said, there'll be like Kim said, there'll be links in the bio.
Yes. All right, y'all. So next we want to give y'all some hacks.
Yeah.
With
some hacks. Some stuff we've learned over time. Yeah. We've been doing this for it's been 15 years. Yeah, because even before the kids, we've been doing these staycations and stuff. So
Yes.
So, we might have learned a few things just living here, We're not the gurus. We don't have all the answers, right? But just some stuff that we picked up.
That worked for us, know. It might work for y'all too.
Yeah, so, that's why we want to share it.
Yes.
So what you got?
I would say, let me see, a hack for doing a staycation here in Central Florida. Definitely consider the time of year.
Yeah.
Because a certain time of year might be busier than others, i.e. summertime and the holidays. I mean, granted, you can still find places to stay regardless because this is Central Florida. But consider that because pricing will definitely be affecting, your choices in those busy times.
That's a good point.
And spring break is that.
Yeah, another busy time. Yeah. Talk about the hack we do with the app we use to find let's say if we need to do one last second.
Oh yeah, so
it's a good hack right here.
That's why I fools with you. But no, one of the hacks that we love to do, like if we at the last minute, like, hey, let's go away for the weekend and do a staycation. I go on hotel. Let me make sure.
Hotels with an S or.
Hold on, let me pull it.
And we'll put this in the description as well. But we just trying to be off the cuff with it, right? Some of the hacks that we know.
It is.
And y'all see us looking down. We got notes, guys. We just want to make sure we're coming with some authentic information. Of course, we're coming off the top of our head with some of this stuff, but we got some notes here to kind of keep us guided.
Right.
We're just looking for the
hotels.com app. So
Yeah.
if you go on hotels, and like there's another, like, what was the other app I used to use 2 years ago? But now I would
use
go on
hotels.
hotels.com app, and it's an app that will show you, like, you know, depending on the price range you put on there, it could find you a hotel. If you're not wanting to do a vacation home, you know, specifically, you know, of course, it's called hotels app, but you can choose a hotel.
Yeah.
Right. It'll give you like.
And it's gonna give you price ranges, right?
Yes.
So like if you
You
want
can
to ball
filter it.
out, you good.
Yeah.
If you want to find something, but it's really like if you go to the actual website of like Hilton, Marriott, so on and so forth, like
Right.
they're gonna give you their regular rates, but these are always gonna be like whatever sells or whatever.
Right. And especially at the last minute, like they're trying to book the rooms, right?
Yes.
Get, you know, butts
Yeah.
in the rooms. So
Yeah, so it's
you
like
know.
economy. It's like an economy app type thing.
right.
So yeah, so definitely that's a hack for sure, because you're gonna be able, especially with a staycation situation, you can find really good rates. Like, you know, you know, there's certain even Disney resorts that we find on there that always have really good rates. So we'll say,
Yes.
you know what, we're gonna be at the parks for a few days. Let's just go, and so we can get in that immersive experience. Let's just go to one of the resorts that's priced well on the app,
Right.
and then we enjoy ourselves that weekend. You know, Disney, they have their standard on all of their resorts. So they're gonna have like themed pool areas. They're gonna have an eating area.
No matter if you do their, you know, their value resorts,
Yeah.
their moderate resorts,
trying to say that without saying it, but
and their deluxe resorts. That's
Yeah.
how they're, you know,
that's how they're categorized.
they're categorized. Yes,
Yeah.
but you get the same experience, like immersiveness wise, in all of them. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a thank you for bringing that up, because
Yeah,
I
so-
wasn't even thinking about that. But yeah, that's one.
So that covers your hotel, right? It gives you a good price. What would you say? Okay, so we're going on a vacation. We're talking about hacks. Okay, we're going to Disney or any of the theme parks. What should we be thinking about?
What should we be thinking about?
Yeah, like for instance, I'll start it off. So, you know, a lot of times, especially if you're not from this area, or even if you're from this area, you don't go to theme parks often. You just feel like, hey, I'm just gonna show up and go to the theme park and just gonna get on the rides. And the reality is, this is a big hack. Like, you have to understand there's times of the day where rides are gonna be available, and there's time when the lines are gonna be through the, you know, out the door around the corner.
Right.
So you got to plan your staycation, your vacation around that, right? You have to say, okay, listen, you know, if we're going, let's say if we're going a weekend, right? Friday night, Saturday and Sunday. So you need to say, okay, well, listen, we probably want to try to do one of the theme parks. If we're going to Universal or Disney, we probably want to do night, right, to start it off, because here's why. You know, on a Friday night or Friday or all throughout the weekend, they're all going to be busy days.
Yeah.
But there's going to be times, you know, in the nighttime that you might be able to get more rides in than if you went during the day on Saturday. Right? Not to
For
say
sure.
not to say you're not going to go on Saturday, but these are the things, the hacks you think about. Like, the way you're thinking, everybody's thinking the same way. Like, oh, let's just get up and go to the park. So, oh, what time y'all want to go? So we just roll up into Disney at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
You know, in the middle of the day and expecting to go. It's like, no, there's this whole thing of rope dropping.
Yes.
Which means you got to be there if the park opens at 8:30. I'm going to give this example. You got to be there like 7:30.
Yes.
So that you can be at the front of the
At the
entrance.
rope.
The rope drop is
However
literally,
far they go in,
Yeah.
you know, at the rope.
and then as soon as they let people in, then you got to march to whatever ride you're trying to get to.
Some people run.
Right, people run and they
That
run. This
march.
is an everyday thing.
Yeah.
But the reality is, this is something you have to do to say, listen, I want my kid to run the Slinky Dog ride, or
Right.
or what's
Tron now that it's
or any-
standby and
Right.
not virtual queue anymore.
Right.
And now, granted, this is like if you're trying to maximize your day and you're not trying to pay for the like the lightning lanes.
Yes.
If you're not wanting to pay extra money for that, then do these things. Like
Yeah.
just go there first thing in the morning, or go there towards the last few hours of park closing.
Yeah, and keep in mind, we're covering this a little bit in this episode, but or in this video, but we'll do a video specifically on, like, how to use the what is it called?
The Genie.
The Genie Plus, all of that. The express passes for Universal. Like we'll do a video where we talk about all that stuff. Yeah. But just for now, we just kind of mention it. Like these are the things to think about. General hacks, right? Timing of day. I can't just run up in there and expect to get on rides. It's gonna be 3-hour waits. Some of these rides get that long. Yes. So think about time of day. So that's what I was saying. So you're on, what are the things you're thinking about? Like, you're on a vacation. Like, what are the, like, okay, we just talked about the time to go to the park. What else would be things that that we've been doing that have been beneficial to us?
Right. So to add to what Cleet had just said, like specifically, if you have like little ones, or if Magic Kingdom is just your park, like I use Magic Kingdom because this is a good one to do this for. Yeah. If you're trying to maximize your rides, you definitely want to go, and like your family doesn't really too much care for fireworks, or not necessarily too much care, but you've already seen the fireworks before, and you want to do some other things. Use that time during the fireworks show.
That is
to go ride the rides.
It's like an hour and a half of glory.
Yes, you can literally ride a good 5 rides.
Yes.
In the time of the fireworks show.
And what she's saying, basically, if you don't really care for the fireworks, meaning everyone in the park at that time, they go to the front of the park.
Yeah, about 80% of the park.
80% of the park, they go to the front of the park to see the fireworks show.
Yeah.
Right? And it's at the same time every day at Magic Kingdom. Mm-hmm. So at that time, all the rides, especially in the back area. So you got the Barnstormer or the circus area. That whole part opens up, like the sea parts. Okay. You got
it's like crickets back there.
Yeah. What's the girl? Ariel's ride.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Ariel's like walk on.
Yeah. So all of these rides all of a sudden become walk on for a good hour and a half to almost 2-hour window.
Right. Now we haven't been there since Tron has been standby, but I'm pretty sure that goes down.
It at least goes down. Yeah.
It goes down tremendously than what it is during the day.
Yeah.
So that would be a good time, and also Mine Train.
Yeah.
And in that same aspect, at Hollywood Studios, when Fantasmic does their shows at night, that is the time to try to go on Slinky Dog, go on Rise of the Resistance.
I was about to say the whole what do you call it, area just opens up. Star Wars area. Oh my gosh, it's like we like ride everything. So that's the perfect time. So timing is important. Right. I would also say it's a hack that comes to mind when you are going on your staycation. Your first day that you arrive, you want to be prepared to go to like a Target or a Walmart or something to get you some essentials for the next few days. Like bottles of water, like little stuff that you're going to need at the theme park, snacks, right? Because you're able to bring bags into there. So don't go, now granted, once again, for our followers who you just got, you got the budget, hey, you spend what you want to spend.
Because like we get our Mickey popcorn.
Right? That's a quick hack too.
Yes.
So get your popcorn, Mickey. We're just throwing hacks at y'all. It's fine. We'll have videos to talk about each of the theme parks to give you more stuff. But for I want to say this real quick and then go back to the essentials. If you get your popcorn bucket at any of the Disney parks, it works for all the parks. So you pay,
and even cruises,
and even cruises. Yes. So you pay like what, $10 for each bucket or something the first time, and then now every time you go, you can bring your bucket back. You pay literally like $1.50 for popcorn refill.
or $2. Something like that.
So
for a refill.
And we do that because it's like, okay, we're sometimes we're just like we're doing this on a budget, so we'll go to the parks. And we're like, okay, we're not going to sit and eat at the parks. We just get some popcorn, kind of like at a movie theater, right?
Right.
Like, okay, I'm either going to eat before the movies or I'm going to eat afterwards. So while I'm there, I'm just going to snack on popcorn and kind of enjoy my time. Yeah, right? So that's what we do at Disney. We walk around, eat popcorn. It keeps us full.
Yeah.
We enjoy the time.
We're there for a short period of time.
Yeah. And then, we'll go and eat afterwards. But going back to the essentials, you want to get those essentials, right? And you do this even if you're at a hotel or Airbnb.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, this works for both.
Right. Now, if you're Airbnb, you might be wise and you say, since I got a kitchen, or if I stay at a suite, right, one hotel suite where it has a kitchen in it, then you might get stuff like, waffles. I'm about to say Eggos. Waffles, you might get little stuff like that, but get your essentials because it's going to save you some money, but it's also going to, help you in the in-between snacks and waters and stuff like that. So, as you're going through the park, you you'll be replenished.
Right, and one hack with one of the essentials that you want to get when you're doing a staycation, whether you're staying on a vacation home or a hotel.
Okay, example.
Right? Yes. So this is one we recently got. We have some other ones that are white ones, but these netted laundry bags that we get at Target, and these are only like $3-4.
Yes.
Y'all.
And we'll put a link in the description.
Yes, these will change your life. Okay, we take these on every staycation. All right, so you don't have to keep piling up your clothes in your
into
luggage.
your suitcase. Yeah,
put all your dirty clothes after wearing them, wet clothes in these netted laundry bags. Okay,
and you just put it right in the back of the.
That's right. And when it's time to go, everyone, laundry, dirty clothes are in there, and then when you get back home, throw them in the wash.
Yep.
But these are it's a real good hack to have.
Yeah,
and then of course on your longer staycations, like if you're at a vacation home, they have washer dryers. Just get some Tide Pods at your grocery run.
Yeah.
And wash clothes. But
so listen, those are a few hacks that we just wanted to throw at you guys. I think as we do more of these type of videos, we'll have ones where we just focus on specific hacks, and then we'll build that out and talk more about it in detail. But just want to give y'all an overview, just like some things to think about on your staycation. So, we talked about the cost, right? Like, how do you get cost-effective hotel options or Airbnb options, right? Most of the time, if you can plan ahead for the Airbnb, you're going to get better rates, right?
For sure.
So, and then think about the time of the year, like Kim said, right? If you're doing a summer, if you're doing spring break,
or the
holidays, everything's going to be up, right? So, if you wanted to do some of these staycations, especially if you're like, okay, I want to do like a staycation and then a major vacation, well, planning those staycation and those off months, you're going to get the best rates. And you're going to be able to have, get the best bang for your buck. So we talked about some tools used, right? Hotels.com, the hotels app, hotels.com app or whatever have you. Obviously for Airbnb, you got that website. You got VRBO, which is new and it's basically the same thing. And of course you got the Villatel, right? So yeah, they're a great option as well. What else we want to talk? What else we talked about? The hacks, right?
Yeah, we just talked about.
Get your essentials. When you arrive, get your essentials, right? That way you're not spending a lot of money at the parks, getting drinks and snacks and stuff, and then eating too. We didn't talk about dining, but I would say, there's so many food options here in Central Florida.
Just like hotel options.
There's levels to it. You could go cheesecake. You could go all of it. You could go to Applebee's, right? All of those are all over there.
Yeah.
Like literally almost any restaurant you could think of. Well, not anyone, but majority of them.
Majority are gonna have.
Yeah. So a lot of times, this is another hack I'll just throw in there. I know we're closing out, but another hack I'll throw in there is sometimes you just understanding if you're going to be there, especially if this is a staycation, if you're going to be at the parks for a few days, then sometimes you might do half a day at the park, and then the other half you can experience some of the other things like on iDrive and some inexpensive things, right? They have stuff like the Orlando Eye, where you can go and ride this big old super large. I think the only other one that's large like that is in London.
I think
it
so.
Is. But it's a super. What is that called? The big thing.
It's like a Ferris type.
Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel? Is it called Ferris wheel?
Yeah, but it's not but you're enclosed, so.
Yeah, but it's that concept, right? Big old thing, right?
Along with the swings over there that you like.
Give me anxiety every time I see them. But yeah, they got a lot of those things like that, right? So
dinner shows.
So it's not all about the theme parks, right? Oh, they have indoor golf carts. Not golf carts.
We riding indoor golf carts, y'all. Go-karts.
Go-karts, man.
The movies.
Of course, movies.
Gaming rooms, Dave and Buster's and so forth.
So there's a ton of other things you can do, right? Yeah. So you can, sometimes it's not even about going to the theme parks. It's just about going to a hotel or Airbnb and doing those things, right? So there's all of those options. But the benefit of it, like we talked about at the beginning, get away. Recharge, right?
Yes.
Give yourself a chance to break up the monotony of your life. Like sometimes it's just going to school, your kids going to school, you going to work, and it's just rinse and repeat, and then you're just paying bills. It's like no, take a little funds.
Yes.
You know, even if you don't have it per se, you put it to the side and you make this happen because it gives your family memories.
Right. You could do it on any budget.
Yes.
On any level.
On any level. And that's the thing about Central Florida. That's so good. It's on any level. Like there's hotels and there's Airbnbs for every level.
Yes.
There's eating opportunities for every level. And there's even theme parks for every level. You have Fun Spot all the way up to Disney.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's so much you can do. Yeah. Well, it's not here. It's in Central
I'm
Florida.
in Central Florida, yeah.
It's a little far though. But it's there. It is.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just saying, it's a
SeaWorld.
ride.
And
It's a
SeaWorld
ride.
too.
SeaWorld, yeah. So, yeah.
So y'all, that's what we have for y'all for this video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, Life with the Gums, like our videos, and engage with us because we truly love engaging back with y'all.
That's right.
So y'all, until next time.
All right.